shooting.
Today we are gathered here for the purpose of awareness program on cell phone hazards and all. What type of hazards are going on by usage of cell phones, we are giving a presentation here. Same time, Dr. Saxena is proud member of Global Coalition for the Adnam and Research Institute of USA member. Faculty International Board of Clinical. He is Managing Director of the Dr. Saxena Integrative Medicine PVT Limited. Over 20 years, Dr. Saxena has helped people with the chronic health problems using latest advances in the complementary and integrative medicine, with emphasizes science based on natural therapies in place of surgery and prescription medications, with vast experience in the field of radiology. And he has done excessive work in autism and vaccine safety. He adopted a chronic diseases management program using novel treatment procedures like detoxification and metabolic weight loss and non-toxic cancer therapies, etc. I would like to call upon Dr. Saxena sir to take the podium.
Thank you. And KGReddy together. And I start with a simple kind of things as such. I just want to make some things very clear here. This is basically the disclaimer what we talk. Disclaimer. So basically it's an educational kind of thing, and I have been on a kind of journey where I would like you people to understand what are the toxicity, what are the impending disasters, and how do you tackle it. We'll be giving you very few things as such, and the take home will be immense. And you just tell me, like whenever you are not able to understand, I can talk in Telugu also, and let us be more of an interactive program. Let's not be on a only monotonous kind of thing. I know this is one thing everyone, right from politician to a doctor to engineering student, everyone will believe world needs changing. I was just talking to your principal, I was talking about plastic ocean. How many of you know about plastic ocean? Have you seen the documentary? Plastic ocean. Note this down and Google it, what I'm trying to make you a point. It took me a long time. It took me somewhere in Malaysia where I understood that concept some years back of plastic ocean. From where I got it, you know, I was going in a cab in Malaysia, and the driver, who is a student, he's just a student, he does part-time driving as well. He was talking to me about the plastic ocean as such. And he is a scuba driver, a scuba diving instructor. For the past 4 years he's working. And he's talking, when we go into the ocean, we see a lot of plastics and all that. And he is a very concerned global activist He is now working out on some things so that everyone should not use this single plastic use and throw as such. You don't know whatever plastic we are using it here, where it is going, you know. So all of you agree, all of us on the same page, we agree world needs changing. Yeah, it needs a change. There are some things which are bothering to us as a medical practitioners for so long time. The thing is, I've been working on some areas which are really problematic, like cancer, autism. You didn't spell it right. This is called autism. I'm into a global autism coalition as such. Autism is found in children who are less than 3 years old. They don't speak, they don't utter their name, and these things are rising slowly. You are aware of somebody called Saxena? His son as well as they are into ASD as well as into this one as such. So it's a big kind of thing as such. The projections are really frightening. In US, 1 out of 2 children are going to get into autism. We in India, we are also not lagging. We are catching up very fast. The projection, another projection for basically working on Alzheimer's disease. I'll give you an example what exactly I'm talking about Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's disease is seen in post-50s, 60s. Previously we used to see around post-70 years of age old people, like they lose everything. You know the number one cause in the sense, in average American, he is bothered about after 50 years is what you know. He's not bothered about the bank balance, he's not bothered about the family. He is only bothered if he gets Alzheimer's, he may not walk back into his home also. Boss, when I'm telling about USA, everything we are slowly catching up very fast as well. We had never seen somebody having Parkinsonism at the age of 40. We have seen somebody at 50 Alzheimer's disease here. All the diseases what we studied during our medical college days, mostly where we used to only read in the books. We never used to see that particular thing. Now everything is catching up. You must be aware of how the diabetes epidemic is happening. Now we see a 12-year-old kid, a doctor said having a diabetes. So we need to understand few things. I was talking about these are the things, and how do you keep away from all these chronic diseases? You are the national youth here. You people start getting into a proper group, then the nation will thrive. Not with the people who are like this. Yeah, we will just share few things. Yeah, this is something, the frightening kind of things as said. This is what we are trying to understand. In this lecture, we'll try to find out why these things are causing, what is the reason basically. I've been told when you walk into a doctor's room, you go to a hospital and all that with your dad or someone as such. They said, oh, genes only. You are bound to get diabetes, you are bound to get into heart disease, you get into cancer because you have something in the genes. Are you people, all of you, just tell me, after the lecture is over, is it only the genes? Or is it something with some really nasty things? We are being surrounded by something like toxins. Toxins are there in food, air and water. Right? The water, you must have seen it. I was taking water from this particular thing. I have not used the Kinley water. I don't have any disrespect for Kinley or Bisleri and all that. Only I am worried about this plastic. Things have 30 years back, when we started our things as such, we never used to see this kind of epidemic. You know how many of your elders has got diabetes? You can name how many of them have got hypertension, everything. So 30 years back, the scenario was different as such. what has happened over the last 30 years. There's a transition, the changes have come. There's a problem with the water, the problem with the content, the water, how it is stored, the problem with the food, organic food and like that. And there is a problem with the air pollution. You must be watching the Delhi air situation and all that. If you watch NDTV or Times Now, it gives a kind of caption. We have got in Paharganj, this much is the PM 2.5, and we'll discuss on all that stuffs. Yes, I have the basic way we are trying to work it out is, it is the chemicals which are causing the problem. It's the chemicals. I can always tell you, there is something like the industry sells that particular thing. You have Shah Rukh Khan comes and tells you apply that darkening, lightening cream as such. Okay, you come with this one. You have got all the things as such. You get with the Asian paints, Royal paints and all that. So what this industry is selling you the things as such. Chemicals. Chemicals, when I say chemicals, I just want to go for I'll just elaborate a few things about that. If you start using the antiperspirant over the axilla, you start using the antiperspirant in the axilla, it blocks your sweat glands, sweat pore, things and all that. And if you can always get into something like breast cancer. 20 years down the line, you are using lipsticks, you are getting into something like lead from the lipstick acid. Because this human body has such an intricate mechanism. All these chemicals, what I was been talking about, has come 30-40 years back. This was never there before. So living in this present scenario is a bigger challenge. Your grandfathers and the people, ancestors, they had a good quality of life. They never had this kind of challenges with the chemicals. Yes, we keep talking about cigarette and all that, but somehow I can always tell you very honestly as such, it is not just the cigarette which is killing us. There are some more things. Let us discuss some more things as such. There was a study by environmental working group, and that study is called 10 American study. Try to note down that and Google that particular thing. This 10 American study, it is being normally said that pollution comes with air, water and food. In this 10 American study, the subjects were not exposed to any air, any water, any food also. Still they got something like high levels of 287 toxins, neurotoxin, cancer chemical things and all that. You know what were the subjects like? Subjects were the newborn, umbilical cord testing was done. The newborn child was in the womb of the mother. He has not exposed himself to the air, nor food or nor water, and he got all these things from the placental spread. So I can always tell you, things are on a slightly difficult scale now. We have been talking about China metal rush, which is, there is a thing called cancer villages kind of stuff which has come in China, and we are seeing very commonly in Nalgonda and some parts of the city this particular problem. The reasons are, as I said, water. Water has got high levels of uranium, and the kind of chemicals, the kind of things which were thrown by the industries into the landfills or into the thing, you keep reading about that. We need to raise a voice about this particular thing. We have seen there is a thing called Damarcherlu in Nalgonda district, and there is a kind of hexavalent chromium which was thrown into the water, kind of stream as such, and the whole thing was a spill as such. This is a general view about what is fertility, what is, why infertility is happening, why there are a lot of fertility clinics are coming up. It's all because of your pollution part as such. As the autism, I will make a special mention because this is what we are going to face in the future. We are not going to face with tuberculosis, or we are not going to face with this all infectious diseases. We are probably going to this one as well. This I had already shown, and we are talking about the generational epidemic. There are three things which, as a clinical medical toxicologist, I keep talking about: lead, mercury, and glyphosate. And lead, it can come with the paints, it can come with the water, it can come with, there are so many things. Lipstick is going to come. Lead is there in your biryani also. The color what they add in the biryani, that has got lead. I'll talk about much simple thing about mercury, and there's a thing called glyphosate. The agriculture, the kind of pattern which is being done now, there is a thing called GMO foods and all that. Glyphosate is being used very heavily, and this has caused a big disaster. I'm not going to go deep into this lead generation, mercury generation, because I was focusing your talk mostly on the air pollution as well as cell phone disaster. I just want to question you. When you go to a dental doctor also, try to see that if he's doing a filling and all that, it's a lifetime filling. Once you put a filling which has got mercury or which has got something like lead in that, you are going to be in a disaster. This is the quite cause of vaccination also, particularly there is an inadvertent vaccination. As children, we have taken very few vaccinations, and the kind of epidemic what we are seeing now, which has got autism, ADHD, all we are seeing hyperactive kids, we are seeing a lot of asthmas, a lot of allergies, everyone is allergic. Out of, I can give a statistics about, if I pick up 100 kids, 3 years old kid, of that, out of 100 kids, 12 to 15 are asthmatic, 15 to 20 are having allergy disorders. You have something like 5 to 10 which have got ADHD, hyperactive. The children are very hyper, and the 3 to 5 ratio in India is autism, and this is all because of some of the things as such. We need to have a change in policy as such, because the kind of vaccines whatever we are giving, we are pushing this aluminium, mercury, and all that into that. And I can always tell you about one more thing here. I see a lot of girls here. There is a thing called cervical cancer vaccine and all that. You have to be really cautious whenever you are taking that. Try to see that you do your homework. Try to see the Google Guru and see what is happening with that, and decide whether you are going to take it or not, because this is going to directly affect your immune system. I told you about glyphosate and all that. Yes, I'm talking about a thing called invisible pollution. We could probably go 3 weeks without food. I don't think I can go more than 3 days without food. So somewhere we have got into this one, but at least a human can survive 3 weeks without food. 3 days without water, and but it's difficult to go beyond 3 weeks without air. And we breathe 3,000 gallons of air every day, but we really do whether it's clean. I'm really happy with the kind of atmosphere what we have here. I'm coming from a place called Bashirabad, where there is a lot of pollution. Whatever air we are taking is like totally polluted. We have done some studies about that. And you need to understand there are two things called PM 2.5 and PM 10. I'll just make you understand about this. PM 2.5 is the particulate matter size. If it is less than PM 10 is dust, pollen and air, which is about, or the thickness of the hair also, it is less than that, human hair. And PM 2.5 is much lesser as such. What happens with this PM 2.5? Why there is so much noise in Delhi? We are having a program in Institute of Engineers on 24th. I'm going to give a talk about this one. And why we are making such a kind of thing is because this invisible air pollution is the cause of your cancer, your heart disease, your diabetes, everything. All the chemicals as well as all the heavy metals what we talk about, once you gali pilstam air enters into your lungs, and lung has got a very fine particulate thing as a membrane, right? And if it and whatever comes, it blocks at the sinus, then it goes to the lungs. big particles and all that. Whereas this 2.5, it directly enters into the lung, from there into the capillary membrane, into the whole body. So try to keep this air 2.5 particulate matter. We are concerned about the WHO standards here. When I was in Detroit, it was basically the PM 2.5 is 15 there. Above 15 there is a big hue and cry as such. In India, it is said 60 is the limit as such, 60 or something like that. Delhi, you see, it is around Sanatnagar, it's about 300. We have got in Panjagutta, we have got in Malakpet. I think the studies are not available with us. It's quite, we are catching up very fast. And I definitely think this area also must be slightly high. And how are you going to tackle with this invisible pollution? You are not going to get any kind of tutors or things and all that. Very less is written about what's the situation in India as such. When we are into this particular thing, we are sure there is the kind of thing you see any of your mother, father, or your uncles and all that, and who is a very obedient person. He doesn't smoke, he doesn't drink, he has very few things, he tries to follow he goes for a regular walk. Still he is getting a heart attack, still he is getting into diabetes, still he is getting into cancer. How do you explain that? As a doctor, when I was a student, as such, I was sitting on the other side doing medical. I was not able to explain my dad my dad was asking me one question. I don't smoke, I don't drink. Why in the hell I got this heart problem? So I said, no, it is something related to the genes or something like that. He laughed at me. He said, my grandfather, my dad's dad, had at the age of 87, he was having a king-size life. He never had any tooth problems, he never had any diabetes, he had good things. Just give a small ideas about what we are trying to work it out. We started working on a thing called vitamin D 15 years back. We did some doctors we picked up, we checked their vitamin D levels, it was less than 10. And I did a control study, which was a construction workers chokka తీసుకొని, they are doing the job on a project. And all of them, they have more than 70. None of them had sleep issues, none of them had diabetes, none of them had a hypertension. So it is purely there are a lot of things as such. You have to understand this particular stuff so that we will be a healthier nation. Air pollution, I had already shown you what exactly it's visible, invisible particles, and what thing is the sources. We know now the sources. Most of the traffic kind of things are a big issue. We were talking about, last time we had a kind of convention, and we were trying to understand the particulate matter, how it appears. Even the tires, whatever tires, what we are embarrassed tires and all that, they have something like cadmium in that. And the moment they start, there is a grazing of that tires, it liberates a lot of stuff as well. We are still working on why there is so much diabetes and problems in Hyderabad. Not just Hyderabad, we are trying to work out on some other cities also. But we are able to close down on a few things. One is this plastic, another one is the air particulate matter. The third one, common thing which we are talking about is the rice eating people. I'm a rice eater. I know what has changed. 30 years back, people used to eat the same rice. Now also we are eating the same rice. What has changed? Probably what we understand here is the method of preparing the rice has changed. Rice, how it is made. Any of you go to the kitchen. Now we use a cooker. We add water and close it up. Previously, my grandmother used to cook the rice, used to take out that ganji or peach, throw it off. They used to put the rice into water and keep it for a long time. Okay? Now everyone is fast. We don't have time to wash the rice and whatever things are there. So this is a big disaster as such. And we need to, you have to I keep going off tracks. I just stick on. That's the reason I keep using my PowerPoint. It takes me back where I started. It is one thing which is I see a lot of engineers of my patients. As doctors, we are very careful when we are talking in front of the patients. We are very careful about two people. One is the teachers, second one is the engineers. They do a lot of good work and they come to us. And they keep bombards us with a lot of questions. What I am trying to work it out is, yes, this is a big thing. You must know what is the air pollution. You must know what is this index, what is the yellow, what does it red and all that. Open your Google and try to understand what I am talking about. This has to be properly done, because we can't leave everything at the hands of anyone else as such. We have to understand what are we having a problem, then we get. It was so simple as such. We used to ask the patient, oh, you had that heart problem, only 20 cigarettes per day. Oh, cigarettes, right. So now I can tell you, if you live in an area called Liberty Circle or Bashirbaগ or Panjagunta, you don't have to smoke cigarettes, man. Crossing the road itself will get you 5 cigarettes or 10 cigarettes per day. So you need to know what are you dealing with that. Okay? Don't just go and tell that, oh, this hospital, Sarika Chaile money, because you can't do it. All the tertiary care hospitals, if you don't understand the basic knowledge, whatever hospitals you go, they are not going to treat you. They are going probably fixing you as a label. You're a diabetic, you're an autistic, you're a cancer patient, and they keep on keeping that kind of stuff. You should know why things have caused. Why are you hypothyroid at the first place? I have got 2 days back, I get one person who is around 30 years old. He walks to me and he says, I'm treating his diet for his diabetic foot. He's a problem with the diabetic food. He has got a gangrene. His father has got. Now this young man tells me, doctor, I have to talk to you. Tell me how's your dad and all that. No, I didn't. I'm not interested in my dad now. I want myself. I'm already into diabetes. What I can do so that I don't want to get into my father's shoes. You need to introspect yourselves. You have to. What happens is the same guy who said, oh, na genes lo undi diabetes, so naku vachesindi. I give them a slap, not by slapping, I just give them a word of this one. Grandfather gets at 65, father gets at 50, and you are getting at 30. If it is only genetic, you should get at 65. You should not get at 30 years. So we are working on this kind of areas where the gene expression is happening very fast. And again, these are all the stuff you'll find in all the things as said. Once you start looking at that sulfur dioxide and all that, we are not worried about this nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and this kind of chemicals now. We are worried about something like PM 2.5 and PM kind of thing. This particular worst cities, already Delhi has taken the place. I'm sure Hyderabad is also catching up. This air pollution is not just by one place, it can travel across the country as such. I'll give you the simplest example, what I need to say about that. We were talking about Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. It's a fantastic thing, whatever we are working on. But the people have taken it wrongly as such. I have seen a tea seller in my locality. He does a good business. After that, he takes all the plastic cups and all that, and he culls them. He burns that and he thinks that he has done a good thing. This is nothing. This is a disaster. And I can tell you, you will be fined for burning the plastic anywhere else in the world except in India. All these things counts. I definitely tell you about something like indoor air pollution. Indoor air pollution is probably more problematic than what happens is we are getting patients, probably housewives, and we ask them what are the things as such. And I can tell you the persons who are using a lot of cleanliness in the house, they keep using a lot of things, man. They keep using Baygon, they start using the, yeah, I think, is it coming? The food side to it. How many of you use cell phones? How many of you use cell phones? How many of you use Wi-Fi?
Almost done.
How many of you use Wi-Fi 24/7? 24/7. I get that answers, you know. My nephew was other day was telling, Mama, we are using 24/7. How many of you use cell phones 24/7? You don't close the phone, huh? Only charge it and my charging also. I can always tell you, we are jeopardizing our health with this particular aspect. Let me, I was doing, okay, I had come with this one. Okay, how many, somebody can read this, right, please? History repeating itself, right? Can you just be loud? Talk about rich and famous do it. Celebrities can't get enough of it. Soon everyone will do it and no one will be able to stop it. What is it? Yes? Yes, I was talking about something about cigarette in 1950s. You know the cigarette Marlboro and all that. You're not you are aware of that. So initially when the cigarette came as it used to be only the rich people. The poor people cannot put a hand on that. The same thing is happening with one more thing which I am going to talk about is the cell phone. How many of you has got iPhone 6? Very few. Samsung, everyone has got. Samsung. The thing is, now I have got a kind of person, my domestic helps and all that. They have 2 cell phones with them. There are two cell phones with the domestic help as such. So it has penetrated like anything. And this is one thing which we have already entered into a tobacco epidemic. And I'm going to give take homes here. And this is, the thing is smoking. We are in this stage, 10 years later, we are going to get the papers and all that, which will show that cell phone has caused this or that problems. The same thing happened in 1960s also. There were some doctors who said, no, this is something, it's bad, we have seen some problems with this, and the media, everyone, they really poo-pooed them, they said, no, it cannot happen as such. The same thing is happening in the cell phone industry now, and try to see the things here, try to understand what is happening at that. You are receiving the signal here, you are talking on the phone, and the area received by the base station is that much only, and you have all that other side radiation is scattering. You know what is happening with that radiation across? Have you seen the bees? Bees? You have seen? You still see that? We are not finding bees now. There is a colonial collapse or disorder, CCD, which has happened in the bees. It is extinct now. All this particular animals and all that, I'm talking about this one. This is because of this kind of electromagnetic waves it has come, and they have lost their directions and all that. Yes, I particularly took this slide, and anyone of you understand what is SAR unit, and I'm sure all engineering students will know about that. SAR, specific absorption rate of a cell phone. If I have got a cell phone, it is written in the cell phone, you need to check out what is SAR values. So as SAR values are basically averages for an iPhone, it is basically 6 or something like that. 6 minutes SAR value multiplied by 3. So you can use the cell phone without any damage to your thing as such for only 18 minutes. 6 into 3 SAR multiplied by 3. And all the studies, till now what we have studied, were done with this value as such. Now, we don't have the data of people using 2 hours on the cell phone. We don't have the data. You cannot use if you talk for more than 5 minutes, this is going to get heated up. Anybody has the experience about that? Here gets heated up. I'll show you why. Because this kind of extreme level we have got in adult, even the brain gets, there is a thing called heat shock proteins in the brain. They start getting the thing as such. And you have got a 10-year-old child, you have got a 5-year-old child. So if you keep that cell phone for this particular thing as such, you can understand what's going to happen there. A small country, we have to start using as a smartphone. We have to start using with the communication gadget. Use WhatsApp. When you talk time, try to keep it down as such. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Bangladesh has improved ban. The thing is, what hurts basically, I had seen there was a newborn in our family, and what happened was this newborn is greeted by a cell phone. I was shocked, and my family friend's house, and he says, "Oh, Nana ko suna udhar." He's staying in somewhere in Jaipur, and the child is crying, and on the cell phone on here, and this cry is being transmitted to the different parts of the world. Absolutely criminal. These people can be booked as such because the child doesn't have the proper coverage. You don't have that protection. There's no helmet. You have got a very soft bones. It's going to cause a big issue about that. When till 18, Bangladesh can impose that. Why don't we? The message I will share with Jayashree Madam or some principal was saying, why do you, what are you getting out of this giving a talk? I want to correct you all. Let us strive for this plastic ban, let us strive for this cell phone. I don't want to ban it because cell phone has given us a lot of things as such. Let us try to see that there should be a ban for below 18 as such. And as a whole voice, we can always be heard. If I have a single person talking about that, nobody hears about that. So this is, there are a lot of things as such. We are trying to work out with the policymakers. We are not able to make them understand the situation only because the studies were all very hooked up. You know, there are about more than 400 studies which were done till now. And out of that, 394 studies were done by industry people. So what is the fun of having Airtel sponsors a study and they say cell phone is good. There were only 6 studies which was done by the governmental organization and it was kept under the wrap. You can't have a neutral, if you cannot have you need to have a neutral empire. You can't have somebody who can always do the same kind of thing and tells you what. So this is, there are some bigger statistics. We are seeing a lot of brain tumors. There were 25,000 brain tumors reported for the last 3 years in Telangana region. Telangana. It's quite frightening, and I can tell you it's because of the mistakes of someone else. I have got a child who is about 14 years old. He doesn't use the cell phone. His parents, they use the Wi-Fi 24/7. And I am sure the cause of the brain tumor was only that particular stuff. He doesn't know. The thing is, the parents also are educated, and they are not told about that. They don't know how to stop off the Wi-Fi in the night. They just keep it on and on throughout. We are totally somewhere. I can't expect to smoke 20 cigarettes a day. If I smoke, I should go out of the zone, in a smoking zone, and I can take that. And if I'm doing in the middle of my family, my whole kids are getting affected. The same way, you are using your Wi-Fi 24/7. You don't require 24/7 Wi-Fi. When the government is giving you 2 hours water supply, how much you get? 2 hours or 3 hours max water supply in the 24 hours.
Thank you.
You can always take 2 or 3, 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the evening. You can have a Wi-Fi, not 24/7. The statistics are thing as such. You can always. There are some doctors who are doing this kind of study in the other part of the world. They have measured the Wi-Fi density. I'll show you that particular stuff also. They have measured the Wi-Fi density in 1992 and 2002, and they could see the difference in the Wi-Fi density with the diseases. So, excessive use of cell phone, what it causes? The first thing is headache. The second thing, what you get is short-term memory. How many of you remember the phone numbers of your friends? Probably very few of you. You definitely have to check the cell phone. I keep the cell phone and check the number, and I can always. So there are some things as we need to work it out. This is again a study which was showing brain cancer with this particular stuff. I will not go into the deep depths of this study. I'll go for this particular stuff. Even the WHO has accepted cell phone can increase cancer risk. Okay, we discussed about that. This is what I was showing you, the density of Wi-Fi. You see this is US of A, United States of America. The kind of statistics, this is in 2002 and 2012 as such. And I tell you, we are not lagging behind. We are very fastly we are catching up. Wireless wake-up call is a necessary. Magda Havas, you can make a note of Dr. Magda Havas. She has done a lot of work on electrosensitivity, and I am fortunate to treat a lot of engineers and all that, and they keep asking me questions. I give them the Google links as such, ask them to look into that, so that it's a kind of, this is how we need to go ahead. You need to start looking at your Google, you try to understand where you are, then you can work it out. We need the massive wireless wake-up call. I can share one particular interesting thing as such here. I went to my bank manager. I need to sign that one ECS mandate was there. I went there, and he was on the cell phone. And he made me wait for more than 7 minutes or 10 minutes, I don't remember. This has happened 3 years back. The manager, and I asked him a simple question the moment he hang on the phone. I asked him, you have 3 wired phones, BSNL, Tata telephone, whatever it is, 3 wired phones were there, right? Landlines. Why are you using this particular stuff? So he says a weird explanation. He says people will not pick up the phone call if you are calling through the landline. I want to put across this food for thought to all of you, and I started some concept some years back. I was not able to. That's the reason I'm coming to you people and talking about this. Save the landline now. Save the landline should be the thing. The way Tiger, Save the Tiger, there's a kind of movement which is called Save the Tiger, right? We need to see that we save the landline also. Because with the landline, you can talk for hours, it's not going to hurt you. Don't better that thing with your cell phone. There are a lot of things here. Dirty electricity, how much time I have for saying? Okay, we still have some more time to discuss some interesting things as such. This I kept it for my medical students actually, but you can always understand about this, what we are talking. You can always tell your people, don't use this tube lights man now inside your home. Try to change it to at least, if not, change it to LED lights. Tube lights, they give a lot of this particular thing. There's a thing called dirty electricity, and with these tube lights and with these CFLs, you can get this kind of problems as such. Your skin problems can be because of this particular stuff. You see people with some rashes kind of thing. This is based on the lot of work. CFL, try to see that CFL should not be used. There are some countries, particularly Sweden and Denmark, they have stopped using CFL. We as an environmentalist, we are worried about the people who make the CFL. Their health is a total disaster. And I can tell you, if we are using a CFL, and if this CFL or tube light, if it breaks down, गिर जाता है, and it gets spilled over, and you have in your home 2 or 3 kids, you are into a big disaster. You know, there are guidelines which were being given. If you happens to break a CFL, you need to put a plastic cover, take a wet mop, try to see that everything gets into that, and you are not supposed to throw it into a dustbin. There is a you can call up 911 also in US. They can take somebody will come with a clothes with all mask and all that. Take that and put a proper disposal. We are not aware of that. When we don't know how to, it is like a bomb, you know. CFL breaking down in the home is like a bomb. It emits carcinogens, it emits a lot of other stuff as well. These are some case studies. You visit my website, healthyheart.in, very simple, and I can always share you a lot of things as well. And it's very important. Somewhere we need to look at the studies. What are the studies? I can give you a link. Send me a mail. I'll give you a link about why what I'm talking about and all that. And this section I will be talking about how to keep the system in balance. We have to live in this polluted world, yes. And once we are living in this polluted world, what is the situation right now? You have got the body load, incoming is very high, outgoing is very less. So you are being, there is a kind of bombarded with lot of toxins and all that. And how can you handle that? Some person taking lots of whiskey, taking 20 cigarettes a day. I had seen my professor, he was having a very good health as such, because he was able to manage it as such. Now I don't see that somebody can be having a tube. It's very difficult. Most of the people, they crumble as such. You need to balance this particularly. You are on a kind of huge durance, and you have toxins which are being bombarded at you. And how do you remove it? You need a good purging system. A person who sweats a lot is healthy. A person who is constipated is not healthy at all, right? A person who is properly, what are the detox, what are the organs of detox? You know about that: skin, colon, hepatobiliary, liver, right? Kidneys. They are in a kind of your kidneys, your all things. They are working more than 24/7 here. They have to see that your system gets flushed properly. So some useful things I would like to share here again. How many use alarms in your home? Alarm clock. Now everyone has got a cell phone, everyone has got, that is the alarm clock for us. You agree or not? Are you keeping that cell phone in a airplane mode when you are sleeping? No. Why? Start doing it. Your health is going to improve. Okay? Because of the kind of constant radiation kind of thing, your cell phone is active, man. It is receiving all the things, junks and all that. And when you are sleeping along with the bedside, you are going to get into your problems as well. Start doing this. Turn off all the electrical circuits around your thing. We keep that charging on and we sleep. It's not at all healthy. Beds without metal, I understand, because people in hostels, they can't do that. But there is a thing about cordless phones also. I think I can go on and on. If you keep having some questions, please start interacting. Fragrance free. Everyone is up against fragrance free. Fragrance free is not using any deos, not using any scents. I'll tell you this thing, the scents, whatever is being sold in the market, they are all ethylene products. They are all dangerous to your health. You can't use this kind of fragrances. We try to use in our clinic no perfume rule. Okay? So that the other person who is allergic or something like that, he cannot get into any problems. Don't look in the plastic. Water filter for the bath. I think I'll try to give some more things as such. If you follow this kind of things as a big tax, try to be perfume free, or don't use antiperspirants, don't use any kind of toxic beauty, right? And you can always there is a thing called volatile organic compounds. I think it's too much for you. And start doing a simple things. When you enter the home, we are Indians, man. Remove the slippers or shoes and enter the home. All of us are doing. Now, with the kind of people are not that following as such. It helps you to keep yourself healthy. A person whose socks stinks is more healthy. Keep the stinks outside. Don't keep it inside as such. These are the sources of pesticides and all that. I don't want to go into that. And I told you about something like Lysol, phenol and all that, causing problems in a big way. Bathroom and all that, bathroom cleansers. So many people, like I didn't understand few things as well. There is a school, my son's school, they said, you need to use hand sanitizer. And my son, at that age, he was around 5th class, so some time back now, and he used to always keep washing with his hand sanitizers. You want to keep your thyroid in a good condition, stop using excessive soaps. Soap has got something like triclosan in that, and it kills your thyroid cells. No more sanitizers. Try to wash with your water wash is very good. Use some Nimakai, that's very good. Don't use that nonsense. I mean it. I have reasons what I am talking. I have reasons as such. You start following the thing, you say there's totally zero bacteria in the mouth and all that. This is bad. You should not use that mouthwash. Your mouthwash has got, again, antibacterial thing, and it kills your all good bacteria also. And you get into a problem. I switched from bathroom cleanser to mouthwash. Sorry. Bathroom cleansers, I somehow feel that the best. Can you tell me which is the best bathroom cleanser? Best. The best is Coke, Pepsi, Thumbs Up. That's the best. They have got acid in that. After cleansers, bisphenol A, we have discussed about this plastics a lot, and I would like to take some questions here. I should also have some breathing time. It's almost an hour as such, and I want you to understand. If somebody gives, I went to a more supermarket, and that was 10 years back, and he said you have taken 4,000 rupees this one. You are eligible for that Nirlep cookerware. I was a fool that time. I just took it. Everything which is free, you just take it. Non-stickware. How many of you cook the food and all that? Non-stickware, throw it out. This has got something like Teflon coating, which has got perfluorooctanoic acid, and the membrane, the moment there is a breach on that, you are going to get into thyroid issues. PFAO it is called. There is a thing called PVDEs, the foam mattress what we use. I am not against the industry. I'm just trying to caution you people. The way I was cautioned against smoking, I was cautioned against alcohol in my younger days. Yeah? So I want you to understand the same way, because now my new generation, they say, Daddy, you don't drink, you don't smoke. So, but wherever those people who are smoking, they are also good. So, so the thing is, right now, we are in the middle of the epidemic now, and these are the small things which are going to change the thing as such. You don't use that foam bedded. Foam bed will have liberate a thing called PBDE, ethers, in the thing, and it causes a problem. It's no this one as such. I'll give you three more things as such to keep yourself in good health. Right? The number one is, how many of you sleep? You sleep or you don't sleep? 3 hours, 6 hours, 9 hours? 6 hours. Average 6 hours. Now average is for you people maybe 3 hours after your engineering exams and all that, IIT and all that. I was told in IIT, they sleep for 3 hours. The worst part here is, I'll tell you the studies as such. The people who work in the night shifts, all the corporates, they work in the night shift with the intense bright lights. You work for 3 years and you are into a game. You will be constantly visiting doctors like us. Keep on, we will start billing for your diabetes, others, all the stuff as such. Respect the nature thing as such. You have to sleep by 10 or 11 o'clock. Sleep not less than 6 to 8 hours, and you get recharged. This one thing which you should always, don't jeopardize your health. We are unnecessarily getting jeopardized. Yes, I mean it. You start looking at your mobile phone, which has got a very bright signals, and you just check in what is the message that has come, and you see there is a thing called melatonin in your body. Once you are adapted to the dark, your melatonin starts secreting. The more the melatonin you secrete, you are the more healthy. If you don't have sleep, I arrived yesterday night from Malaysia. I came at 1:30 at the airport, and I didn't have a proper sleep. I can tell you, all of us who doesn't have a proper sleep, they are sitting ducks for this. The second one thing I would like you to understand here is, there is something called, how many of you are vegans? Vegans are, I'm not talking about non-veg and vegetarian, I'm talking about taking milk or don't take milk. Milk and milk products. All of you take. Better do a homework and start looking at something called, there is a thing called recombinant bovine growth hormone. Was Suki, but still it will work. I heard it's Suki. No, it's fine. But see, I tell you, whatever milk you are taking, it is coming to a Jersey milk packet. Disaster with the bisphenols which have got plastic, right? And whatever milk is produced is being done. How do you understand the logistics here? A normal cow or a buffalo can give 3 or 5 liters of milk 20 years back. Now it is producing 60 liters. What? 60 liters. Everyone is so unless we give this hormone, we are going to. I will definitely advise anyone post 25 years of age, particularly ladies sitting out here, don't play with that plastics, don't play with that milk, don't take it for granted, because all these obnoxious things are resulting into the cancers. This plastic is causing diabetes, this plastic is causing cancer, this plastic is causing other degenerative diseases. So I told you about milk, I told you about sleep pattern, and one more interesting thing I will tell you. These are the two important things what I told which will prevent you from getting into cancer. The third thing which will prevent you from getting into cancer is a very simple thing which all of you should understand. how do you avoid cancer? You try to do a good vitamin D yourself, you are going to avoid. At the root level, what is the kind of thing at the, how many of you use edible oils? You know the label of edible oils? Sundrop, refined oil. Huh? All of you are using refined oils? Sure? You need to stop taking refined oils, man, because refined oils continuous usage can cause you cancer at a later stage. It will cause you obesity, then the other things. It is one of the proved kind of thing because it has got something like trans fats. Trans fats are really a problem as well. People are switching to cold pressed oils. There's a thing called cold pressed oil, and you want your parents and everybody to be healthy. Try to see that they switch over to this cold pressed oil so that they'll not get into all this problems. Okay. Any other questions? So, because I somehow felt as a people should understand what exactly is making you sick. It is not the
for giving valuable advices for our brightful health. Okay. So,